It's been a pleasure to be involved in the conference today. I came here thinking very open-minded. I'm going to learn a lot. I was prepared to take home a lot of helpful information. And I was surprised by the fact that I've actually felt so much. I think that's been one of my big takeaways, is just experiencing it here so much. It was a few years ago, I reached out to some of my followers on social media and asked if they could have me write a song about anything, what topic would they choose? And overwhelmingly, they requested a song about depression and anxiety. I was caught off guard by that, and I was also intimidated by writing a song about that. Not that we haven't experienced it in our immediate family and in our extended families, but so it's not that I didn't have exposure to it, it's just I felt the weight of writing something that was so important and a topic that we all are aware of and that a lot of us have to face. So I procrastinated for a long time and put it off until finally I just knew that I had to put pen to paper and do my best to express what it's like to go through depression, anxiety, and other mental illnesses. So this song is called Keep Going. You'll notice that in the middle of the song, on the second verse, that it's actually a male vocalist who takes over. He's about 25 years younger than me. And I specifically did that because I felt that it was important that there was representation in the song as it was sung, that this depression and anxiety aren't just something that is faced by men or just women or just older people or younger people, that it just, like kind of Jane mentioned, that it's men, women, children, all ages. So that's why you'll hear a male vocal in the middle of that. So this is my attempt at sort of capturing this topic, and it's called Keep Going.
Just tell me you love me and say that you
of this pit I've been living in. Tell me I'm gonna make it. I need to hear you say it, while I fight to believe that I have what it takes to try again and keep on going. Just tell me you love me and say that you'll stay with me while I fight to climb out of this pit I've been living in. Tell me I'm gonna make it. I need to hear you say it while I fight to believe that I have what it takes to try again and keep on going. This morning, Jane mentioned that when she interviewed hundreds of people, that there was both just heartache and pain, also hope and resilience. And that's what this next song is about. I co-wrote this with one of my friends named Tyler Castleton. And when we were sitting in this co-writing session, he said, I have an idea for a song, and the title is Beautiful Heartbreak. And I wasn't sure what he meant. I said, tell me more about that. What do you mean by that title? And he was going through a divorce, and it was so difficult for him. And he said, even though it's just been one of the most difficult things he's gone through, as he has looked for the lessons that he could learn, as he's leaned into God and trusted, the experience was beginning to become beautiful. And I immediately was like, yes, we have to write that song, because I think we can all relate to that. None of us would choose to go through the challenges and difficulties that we're faced with and we're asked to wade through. But when we're willing to do it and to look for how it can make us better, how we can grow, those can become beautiful experiences, even sacred experiences, that when we're looking back on them, we might even say that we wouldn't change it, and we wouldn't trade what we've learned, and we'd be willing to go through it. We went to Tyler's class this morning, Tyler Patrick, and he said that kind of that concept that he was grateful to have gone through it, and he would even recommend to his 4 daughters that they marry someone who has rebounded and who's resilient and has been through something like that and has learned to overcome an addiction. And we thought that was really powerful. So this song is called Beautiful Heartbreak. I had it all mapped out in front of me, knew just where I wanted to go. Life decided to change my plans, and I found a mountain in the middle of my road. I knew there was no way to move it, so I searched for a way around. Broken hearted, I started climbing, and at the top I found every fear, every doubt, all the pain I went through was the price that I paid to see this view. And now that I'm here, I would never trade. we don't get to walk around holding our posters, do we? And we asked the volunteers to come in that video, not telling them beforehand that we would be asking them to write down something that they'd been through that was difficult. But when we did ask, not a single person hesitated. And that's because we've all go through things like that. But I truly believe that they can become beautiful to us. And I think we'd be a little bit more gentle and patient with each other if we could, instead of maybe the lanyard with our name tag that was hanging down, maybe if it just said what we were experiencing right now. I think we'd give each other a lot more grace. This next song I wrote when I was on an airplane. I was traveling home from Texas, and I had been at a performance there. And as luck would have it, I had the row to myself, and the plane was just taking off into the sunset. It was like this perfect setting. And I got the inspiration to write, I guess, and I just pulled out my notebook and started writing. And it's called If I Only Had Today. And a few years later, after I had recorded it, I was on another airplane. I was traveling to Missouri to perform. And I always liked to bring a couple of my CDs with me when I was on an airplane, because it seemed like inevitably the topic of me traveling to sing somewhere would come up, and I liked having the opportunity to give away the music and share it with someone. And I loved it when I got to sit next to other women, because we can find things to talk about. It just seems like we have so much in common. So I had already boarded the airplane, and I was sitting next to the window, and the two seats next to me were empty, and I was waiting to see who my seatmate would be. So I was watching the people walk down the aisle, and when I saw him, I was like, oh, I bet that's who I'm sitting next to. Dang it, it's not a girl. It's a tall, distinguished-looking man, dark hair. I still remember he had on like tan slacks and a white collared shirt and a navy blue jacket. And he sat down and he put a big, thick manual in the seat pocket in front of him. And I noticed that it said something about scoliosis, pediatric scoliosis. Oh yeah, scoliosis. And as the plane took off, I thought, well, maybe this would be a good time to strike up a conversation. So I said something brilliant like, how are you? And he said, fine. And I could tell that he didn't really want to talk, but I said, are you a doctor? Yes. For like scoliosis? And he said, yes, I'm a pediatric scoliosis surgeon. And I was like, okay, he does not want to talk to me. So then I thought it'd be a really good time to look out the window. And that went really good. And then I read my book for a little while. And then the stewardess came by with the nuts and the drinks. And so I got my drink, and I thought, this is a good time to start up our stimulating conversation again. So I said, are you from St. Louis? Yes. How long have you lived there? 17 years. Do you like it? Yes. And then he said, are you from St. Louis? No, I'm actually traveling there to perform. I'm a singer-songwriter. And I said, hey, I wrote a song on an airplane once. Do you want to hear it? And he's like, yes, I'd be very pleased to. So before he could change his mind, I pulled out my phone and my AirPods and passed them to him, and I played this song for him. And he listened to the whole thing. And then he handed me back my phone and my AirPods. And he wanted to talk the whole rest of the flight. He pulled out his laptop. He wanted to show me pictures of his family. He told me more about how he's a doctor, but his wife is also a doctor. She's an emergency room doctor. They had 2 children, a little boy and a little girl. His little girl, sometimes, they have to balance being at work with them both being busy doctors, and how sometimes the only time he gets is when she's being tucked in, and so he'll just lay down with her and listen to her talk about recess at school and her day there and everything that she did. And he talked and he talked and he talked, and he said, I have a friend who's a doctor. And he had recently lost his 3-year-old daughter. She died in a drowning accident. And what must that be like for him to come home and find no one there at home and still see her toys? And he didn't stop talking for the rest of the 45-minute flight until we got to St. Louis, because we had found a connection. And Ryan, when he was introducing Paz Wellness, he talked about how important connection is. And then in the seminar that we just went to about scrupulosity with Eric, he said, what made the difference for our daughter? And he said, everything. And he listed family, friends, community, everything. When we have each other and when we can relate to each other, we can get through anything. Telling our story is so important, and that's what connected this doctor and I on the flight, was finding out what we had in common. So as I sing this song, I want to invite you to think about who is most important to you, and just make sure that if you have an opportunity, you tell them. And this is called If I Only Had Today. It seems like I've watched a million sunsets and stared at 1,000 full moons. Sometimes it feels like I've been here forever, and sometimes it all feels brand new. I could never count the heartbeats from the day I was born until now. Not a single one goes unnoticed by Him who breathes life in me somehow. But if there were no more tomorrows, if I knew that I could not stay, I know how I'd spend every minute if I only had today. I'd hold you and listen, and I'd let the dishes sit in the sink. I'd tell you I loved you over and over, and for once I'd just let the phone ring. Then I'd remind you of forever and how our love would never change. If I only had today. I'd wake up before the sun did, and I'd watch as you quietly sleep. I'd pray for time to move slowly, knowing the moment would heal all the gifts that heaven has given, every blessing that's come my way. Wouldn't need anything without you. So if I only had This song is called "Come as You Are," and it's I also wrote this one with Tyler Castleton, and we were asked to write it to sum up the heartache and the pain of addiction. And again, I hope we were able to do at least a decent job of capturing what it feels like. And so I've heard the word shame a lot today. I've heard the word suffocating, dark, hole, cave. And so while we tried to capture that in this song, we also hoped to capture hope. And so this song is called "Come as You Are." Thank you. If you have any interest in that song or Keep Going, those are free to you, to anyone, on an app called Live All In. If you search Live All In and then my name, Hilary Weeks, you'll find those two songs. as well as lots of others, if that's something that's helpful to you. I wrote this last song with my daughters in mind. It's bits and pieces of advice that I think would be helpful to them if they were to remember them as they go through life. So I want to invite you that as I'm singing, if there's one that stands out to you, take it home as a souvenir. Write it down, put it in your phone, put it on a sticky note, and put it on your bathroom mirror. This is called Love Your Life.
as it whispers where you need to go, and always look up. Make somebody smile every chance you get.